in this best of one for sure, Gambit could find themselves in an awkward position if they lose it. But I'm excited and scared at the same time.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really cool to see. Unfortunately, it's actually just a best of one. It would be, you know, I would love to see this in a best of three. Of course, we do have a best of three later on, and on the B stream, I do believe we'll be seeing EG.
Vitality EG.
Vitality EG, that's the one. Thank you very much. Vitality and EG, so that'll be our best of three on the B stream. But we are into our first best of one here today on the B stream. Virtus.pro versus Gambit. VP up on the defensive side, and we've got Gambit on their T side, looking to claim some space towards mid here. I don't see anything just yet. Flip backing away, he heard the tap. Gets tapped himself. Actually has a teammate to play off of, but Gambit are going to be just making their way through to the B site and just completely out-juking them here.
That's very unfortunate for Flit. A wallbang, essentially. So close range, but with the USP, that penetration shot is not going to do enough damage, and that leaves YEKINDAR and Jame to think about their options again. They've got Kevlar, which is untouched, so should they choose a force buy in the next round, they could get the cheap helmet if they don't take any damage. But with 5 plays alive for Gambit, again, like the helmet's 350, it kills 300. So which one would you prefer? That Kevlar's been touched now. I mean, he doesn't have to have a helmet in the next round, but if you're going to go up against Mac 10s and so on, then it can potentially make a difference.
Yeah, especially on this map, you know, there's a lot of close range, and you know, reasons why you would want to pick up the SMGs, especially, you know, going into the anti-eco. I'm going to see already a Mac 10 there on nafany, so wouldn't be surprised to see another one or two. Not quite the Vega Squadron buys of the Mac 10 from days of old. But we'll see now, you know, to see anti-eco playing out. It's nothing really except this P250 for YEKINDAR, so we can't expect too much. A couple kills would be really great for them. There goes the run boost. Oh dear. Looked quite problematic for Axel there, almost went down, but did provide the distraction for nafany to get the pickup. And they are working their way into that B site slowly but surely. Their utility usage is looking very good. It's claiming the space that they are looking for. And overall, this is going according to plan here for Gambit. Bomb will be planted, and additional usage of utility there to make certain that that bomb will go down. And one kill there onto Shiro is something nice. Very close to the second, but not quite. So, acceptable losses for Gambit. And now we go into the buy round. AWP on Jame, as one would expect. And see nafany holding on to the Mac 10. Would imagine that they would want to play a faster round here, or at least a prolonged assault perhaps onto that A site. Might be the order of the day here, we'll see.
Got the smoke on short from HObbit. There are 2 variations of this smoke. So this one leaves this area exposed where YEKINDAR are standing. The other one will cover it somewhat.
There's no util really remaining on VP at this point. This is like one of the reasons why Gambit, if they play a slow round, should be able to maintain that util advantage for a strong finish.
Yeah, when there's an aggressive play on the ramp, that smoke you see bounced off the wall there by nafany gives the Ts more options. Makes things more accessible, especially if somebody's peeking from that side position. He'll be the point man with the Mac 10 though. YEKINDAR trying to find some nasty angles, and he may spot a leg here if he goes for a jiggle every so often. You can see a wide swing from nafany, and I'm sure there are some sound cues here. Spots ahead. Oh. Good for 2 as YEKINDAR drops the bomb as well. That's some good information. Ever a dangerous player for Virtus.pro. Definitely been one to watch this year, and he will be for next year as well, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's crazy. Lots of advantages for Gambit, but just that small individual play from YEKINDAR completely turns the tables. And now Gambit are in a lot of trouble. YEKINDAR looking to get more from this elevated position. Oh wow, it's doing a lot of damage there. Does go down. Qikert looking for a timing. Coming in from the side alley. See if he can find anything. The smoke goes away. The flashbangs actually keep him protected, and he'll take down another one. So not really all that much left to be done here. Shiro and Inters, the best that they could do here is get some extra damage at the very least, and it doesn't look like it's going to be really on the cards for them. Shiro, 15 points of health, and he will be backing away. Brilliant stuff there from YEKINDAR. What a round. And I mean, I think it was just a good read too, because, you know, Gambit, they wanted VP to burn some of their utility early, and then they just try to take ramp for cheap later on, but didn't factor in YEKINDAR, of course.
Yeah, that's an early round on the board for Virtus.pro. I have no idea who's going to win this game. I have no idea.
It's very hard to predict. It really is. Again, VP, we can't really put it past them. The core of this lineup has a lot of experience. They made the finals at the previous major.
Yeah, I don't think a safe prediction in this best of one can be made, to be honest.
No, not at all.
Like, again, in terms of form and in terms of style matchups, the momentum of both these teams, this is unpredictable. Very nervous viewing.
Indeed, indeed. It's going to be very interesting, you know, just in general here, because the level of competition is pretty damn high across so many teams, even though so many teams are also in flux at the same time. But we'll see the mids control coming through from Gambit initially. They've been enjoying putting pressure on that position, not super committed, but just showing that presence, taking away some position and vision, just keeping Virtus.pro honest. And then around the 1 minute mark, we start to see, you know, greater efforts towards map control. And we can see A ramp might be the point of focus here, but with Jame on the orb, ready for the flick, it's looking like it could be quite scary. Is there going to be a flash or something to get Jame off of this angle? Oh, it's just a dry peek, and Jame is ready for that.
Yeah, well, especially Jame, really, even more so than Shiro, is going to be so strong on these CT angles with the AWP. Really hard to deal with him. It's not a frag you can trade, really. And again, he just gets stuff turned around a little bit and reset the situation, and the bomb has been lost now, which is going to cause massive problems. Man advantage for Virtus.pro, but there are so many issues for Gambit. They've got to go back and collect that bomb in order to fix this situation. They can thin the numbers in the meantime, but with 10 seconds, I don't know if they're going to have a chance to plant this bomb. Doesn't quite look like it. 5 seconds, and I think it's going to be too late to make it there. Yeah, that's too late.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. It is interesting, though. I mean, of course, only Buster survives.
I don't think it's unfortunate. I think it's good play.
What's that?
Virtus.pro.
Oh, right. No, sure. No, but for Gambit, obviously, it's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. It's unfortunate for sure.
Yeah, it's not to have enough time, because they would have won the round, of course, otherwise. So, yeah. But in terms of what this does, you know, economically speaking, only Buster survived, so 4 players will have to rebuy. They got that, you know, sure, they got the round win bonus, but their money's not very good here, and they just won a round. So Gambit are set up nicely should they be able to win this, but they're on 2 pistols. We're going to see the aggression initially around ramp from VP again for that early control. And then usually it's around the 1 minute mark that we'll see Gambit start to try to take that control again.
That smoke down the ramp kind of reminds me of the smoke on A main of Cash in some ways, in that if you are, from a T perspective, you could stand on the lockers and look over it towards the quad position. But as you can see, YEKINDAR's got to be careful. But, you know, from smoke to smoke, it can vary and have a little more gap, so one must be careful, especially if you're in an elevated position. But there's another smoke just to slow things down. And we can see Jame always in a different position, and it's very painful to find out where he is. Not sure if he was just spotted there by nafany. Could be in for a nasty surprise, indeed there will be, but YEKINDAR still on the site, as we can see, taking out Exile, but he's got more to do. He needs help quickly, as no one else is on this A-bomb site, so we're looking for an overperformance now from YEKINDAR.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to find multiple kills, but he'll go down. The timing, unfortunately, very difficult to predict. Flitz there as well, but again, really difficult position. Going to be charging forward. Actually finds one onto Shiro and still alive. And didn't take, in fact, any damage there. nafany able to make things a little bit more favorable once again for Gambit to hold this, but beautiful beautiful play from Flit. Still keeps the chances alive in this situation for VP, and it's getting even better. Flit is just crushing this one. Inters is the only person standing here. And that pressure's coming on with the tap. Inters, oh my goodness. Flit, how has he managed to just own everybody? 4 kills. Unreal.
Now that is a retake. Very strong stuff, YEKINDAR. I thought maybe the round would be close to over, just left alone on that A bomb site, but the rest of the team come through and secured a W.
I feel like it should have been over, James. I think the same thing with that previous round where YEKINDAR got the double. Like, if these A attacks look good, but then just the individual play is where the difference is. How do you account for that?
See that ramp smoke being deployed once again. Jame going back to another comfortable position, but he's got angles for days. I would love to just see how he inspects a map. Oh, YEKINDAR's going to be very well poised. Patient play now. How many is he good for? He's got no smoke to dance around. Can't pull his pistol out in time, though. His Inters will get a kill. So there's something for Gambit with that. But Flit will cut the numbers yet more, making a 2 versus 5 from Gambit's perspective. They haven't really got the map control just yet, as Qikert is on shore, but that is a big difference. Tech9 now rising in power. Flit will finish off the job. But yeah, those Tech9s, maybe we want to see more of those in the Deagles in the rounds to come. Rounds and games matches to come.
Yeah, some good damage at least. You know, that peak down to a ramp kind of reminds me of CPL Mill or Tuscan, like the mid. You know, for some reason, like this long ramp channel that is mid.
I need a moment of silence. Did that sound like refreshing?
Not really.
No? You were saying?
No. I was just talking about CPL Mill. YEKINDAR ever the menace here. I mean, so far, you know, Gambit, again, they've been going at this somewhat consistent pace. They have 2 on the B side of the map, 2 on the A side of the map. Possibly sometimes they'll open up with some pressure around mid here, like we can see HObbit throwing A's over, and then around 1 minute mark they go up a ramp, or try to. It's been somewhat consistent. And they've been set up pretty well for success. It's just, again, these individual plays. But YEKINDAR again could find another individual moment, but this time nafany is much deeper than he expected.
Jame with a very strong angle. He's ready for the flicks as well. Qikert has been burned alive in the meantime. So there are 3 players remaining for Virtus.pro, but again, they have the AWP. They can reset the situations. The angles that James posting up on. See if they can get the retake again. Shiro's on AWP as well. So now the bomb has been planted and Virtus.pro have lost their angles. Shiro for now will have the luxury of those, but Jame will maybe try and take an angle with this flashbang.
There's a push from Flit once again. Some defensive flashes going up high there, but that won't really be... Oh no, the stick is coming. In fact, I don't think that they can stop this. The spray's gone. Inters only able to get the 1. And another round just stolen by VP, stolen by Flit. Getting set up very nicely by his teammates. And the retakes again, looking really good so far. Gambit, they're going to be very disappointed.
All about the smokes on that A bomb site, obscuring information. I don't know if they saw the player who was the meat shield, so if they didn't, but they got a kill through the smoke, then they can assume that he was the man defusing the bomb. So the fire stops. Those late smoke grenades very, very crucial on Vertigo.
Yeah, definitely. It's an interesting one because, you know, again, as I mentioned, so far it feels like quite good for Gambit in terms of their approach. Their approach is pretty good. You know, they establish some map control, they establish some information, they establish some pressure, and they're coming into these A hits, and they've been able to get the bomb down. They've been able to get on the site, and they've had favorable moments. But again, it's just unable to hold. The individual game so far is better from VP, and that's of course quite the scary prospect. So we'll have to see if there's any adjustments to be had here from Gambit's approach to break this up. Back on the bye.
Both these teams, 1 for 1, 1 win, 1 loss. So a loss here in his best of 1 would be very roughed up indeed. Great cover for Jame. You've got that rifle support there. So while Jame is trade fragged, Flit will do one better and give Virtus.pro a 4 versus 3 early. Minute 20 on the clock. And you can see Buster just peeking, just trying to find out if anyone's creeping. Gambit do like a shift walk, and again, all that information seeking will get him some information, but in the worst way. Numbers are tied now, and there's still a minute on the clock for Gambit, which is a world of time with a team such as this.
And Flit's creeping. He might get a nasty flank here. Really good timing, possibly. I wonder if those sound cues we heard. Yes, indeed. Nafany's holding for this. Should be able to win the battle against Flit, indeed, but the flank is coming through. Qikert trades it out, and YEKINDAR takes down one more as well. This makes things very difficult here for Shiro without anybody to really cover. Does have the bomb in hand, so Shiro looking to walk all the way back here to the 8 site. This may be the move. It seems as though, at least for now, VP are focused still on that B position.
Such a long way. We'll see if he shift walks all the way, or if he's convinced that someone else could be there, but we can see Qikert making his way back towards the A bomb site. So then, how will the bomb be planted? I can't see how he plants the bomb without getting a kill first. 9 seconds now, and he has to start running straight into the hands of Qikert. He's got the Molotov in the, well, almost the right place. Bounces though, and surely it's a free kill for Qikert. Surely! Well, he's planted the bomb. Oh no! Can't be serious! How on earth has he missed that? That is a massive whiff from Qikert. And now Shiro's got angles for days. AWP versus AWP, and he has superior position. I can't believe he's alive.
Oh no, he's won it! He's absolutely done them in! I can't believe it! James. Qikert's face has to be redder than a tomato right now.
My lord. Okay, I've got some really regrettable highlights in Counter-Strike, let's say.
Lay it on me.
But that's worse than most of those.
Oh wow, you've called it. Worse than the Bardolph moment. Yet to frag. Oof.
That is so awkward. As I used to say, Dan, it's that's more levels of awkward than DDK in an elevator.
Oh, usually you go with like the club or something, but well, that's crazy, and that's broken their money as well. So that it's just had the worst outcome. And you know, if I feel like it would only make sense now, you know, Sod's Law, that this is how Gambit come back.
It's broken them.
It's because, yeah, exactly.
It's broken their money. It's broken their spirits. It's broken their backs.
Okay, here's redemption, though. Redemption arc possible if Qikert is able to just tap everybody's faces off with the Deagle.
It's not happening.
It's
the Deagle's dead. I'm telling you, unless your name's Nico, or we can add Breeze there as well, or Simple. The Deagle's dead, man. It's about to Tech 9 now. And maybe the 5-7. We'll see. 5-7/CZ.
Here he goes. Oh, there we go! That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying.
We can add Qikert to that list as well.
He's got the AWP, James. He's good to go.
Well, position has been taken by Virtus.pro. They are still looking for their first kill now, and you know that position's been taken by Gambit, I meant to say, on the B bomb site. They haven't got their first kill just yet, though. But I'm sure YEKINDAR's saving. James, like, you better get away from this situation.
Give it to me. I know what to do with it.
Okay, one thing I was going to say earlier was there was a change in the game recently where if you die by headshot, then your kill cam is shorter, so you get less information.
Qikert!
Okay.
Wow, he's actually got 3 kills out of it. He's secured an AWP for his team. He did as I mean that's
a redemption arc.
That is the
He's made up for it.
That is as good as you could expect. I feel like I think we got to give it to him there for that. It's good effort.
So if you're fragged by getting headshot, your kill cam is shorter, so you have less information.
Oh yes.
But I'm interested to see like what the how the players, what their experience is with that change, like how much shorter they feel like it is, etc. If it's notable.
Man, I feel like the coaches now are basically cardboard cutouts at this point.
Yeah,
so that's what Valve are asking for.
They're mannequins. People are, you know, I think the knee-jerk reaction was to shout at Valve for it, but I don't think it's Valve's fault, man. They're just trying to keep the integrity up, and we have idiots who keep trying to bring it down.
True. YEKINDAR, you can't just be standing out there for free. Spraying away. Nafany's not having that. The punish comes through. Qikert knows he has to get something, really, before they come in and start scaling onto the site. And Jame holding on to the side alley there, and that's a beautiful one from Qikert. Can fall back to safety. Again, has Jame covering side alley. Jame might, in fact, go for a play here. Qikert could support with the flash that he has. There goes the flash. That's for Jame. Jame's actually going to retreat, though.
And that timing to escape. We have a third man here as well now. Flit with full grenades is in position. Gambit continues to creep. This is going to be a big explosive fight, or is it? Shiro gets picked off, so things become more difficult for Gambit, and nafany is starting to wonder what he can do up here once again. But he's not being given anything. They're not making it easy. They're not giving him those fast pre-fire headshot positions. He is being denied.
Less than 30 seconds now for Gambit to get onto a site. Moving through mid. This is a struggle. 3 players here on this site, and oof, looks like the defense is looking pretty good once again. nafany coming around the corner. This is a huge series of engagements for nafany. He's going to have to go absolutely wild here. There's no time for this. Has to get all the kills. There's one, but the best that can be done at this point is to save this AWP, and that is exactly what's going to happen.
Or is it? Because there's a CT to his right-hand side. Oh! Just had 2 bullets fired, but
he's all right.
He'll hold on to it for now. Taken away from Jame. We'll see if anybody's got the money for it. Man, best of 1 Vertigo. I am entertained. Again, if you are just joining us, if you didn't see all of yesterday's action, our first 2 games today on the B stream are 1-1 matches. Gambit versus Virtus.pro, Astralis versus Heroic to come as our second match of the day. Nobody wants to go 1-2. This stage, the legend stage, is certainly a slaughterhouse, man. It was so hard to pick who was going to go through, and of course, you can make all the picks that make sense, but there are going to be some upsets. Vitality currently 0-2. They will be our third match of the day, playing EG. For elimination, maybe getting the best draw based on what we've seen so far, but it's time for them to perform.
Yeah. They must perform. Again, some spray from YEKINDAR through the smoke. This time he's got Qikert there to keep him alive. But again, we could expect likely a similar timing from Gambit. Just hold until the 1-minute mark, hold all positions.
And just a few weeks ago, we had just a few players, or a little more than a few players, who would be playing with the Silent M4, but now almost all the spam through smokes and so on is Silent M4 spam.
Yeah.
Which I'm just not used to just yet, I'm just used to hearing more wrestle from M4A4s, and we still have some M4A4 players there, but certainly this is the favourite child at present. A pop flash for YEKINDAR. The smoke is still there. No one creeping through it on this occasion.
Jame's going close, but they are ready for it. YEKINDAR's going to drop the incendiary. He's going to fight with it, actually, which is pretty smart here, but they are trying to pursue him. YEKINDAR's able to fall safely onto the site. Blitz there again. So they've delayed this pretty nicely for the rotation. YEKINDAR's out there, and they are going to be decimating the push once again. They are getting ahead of it, and VP are looking super comfortable.
Shiro spots one to the right. Avoids the flashbang. nafany holding an angle with 12 HP. They know one's on the left. Buster coming through from the back. Down goes Qikert. Buster needs to get his skates on. They know Flit's in the corner, and he doesn't really have any help, so you may have to just look for a swing eventually. Shiro holding the angle now, and the bomb can soon get planted, but Buster might find 2 if he's fast enough. He is just around the corner, and there are so many angles to follow. Shiro, 93 HP, switched up for the M4. He knows where he is now, trying to hold an off angle. So you can see both jiggling now. Buster has the angle, but Shiro has the kill. And that will be a 5th round for Gambit.
Yeah, well played. I mean, Virtus.pro were hanging on by a thread. They looked obviously quite good initially to win that round with that initial hold, but Shiro with the really awesome AWP just creep through the site, clearing those positions, really made a great difference. And that breaks the economy here for VP. And so the difficulty that's happened with Qikert, just those few rounds ago, now we're starting to see the impacts of that because, all the money's gone, and, finally Gambit are looking poised to take over the half, and they absolutely can.
That last round was so awkward for HObbit when I think it was YEKINDAR who threw the incendiary down. HObbit didn't pursue because he would have had to stand and take a fight standing in a Molotov, which is a really bad situation. Climbed over the sandbags, ended up touching the late Molotov, which does more damage, ended up on 50 HP, went around the corner of the ramp, got hit by a grenade and then shot. So before he could really engage somebody, he had like 23 HP or something like that. So a difficult round. That is a rare miss from Shiro. That surely should have landed, but on this occasion he was denied. They are up against pistols though, but we can see what Qikert, we have seen what Qikert could do with a Desert Eagle. On this occasion, it will be YEKINDAR with the Deagle, Qikert with the USP. Buster will be first to fall. These rounds can still be dangerous, as we have seen. We've seen them trying to abuse their numbers. That will fail.
Yeah, Gambit have been generally... I mean, they're a team that's generally quite good at playing super disciplined and effective anti-ecos. I'll never forget the era in the time in Counter-Strike. It felt like it lasted forever, where even the most elite teams in the top 8 were just not putting the effort into maximizing their edges on anti-ecos. And there would be like slip-ups all the time, and you know, I would say for the last 3 years or so, we've seen a much greater level with all of those small details. As like the professionalism continue to grow and improve in Counter-Strike. Six, all tied up. Kind of want to see a replay of that Qikert moment. Give me the drama.
I love the depth of the landscape around on Vertigo. Very unique map. I hate those garden chairs though. Absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Fittingly so for a building site. 6-6 now. We'll see who can take a late lead in the first half. And again, we'll have these smokes out. Forward smoke from the T's, which means they could push through the side. And that might bait some grenades out at the very least from these CTs early on. You can see a HE being thrown. And it'll be mostly smokes and flashes for Virtus.pro. A re-smoke off the ramp to burn some time as we head towards the 1 minute 20 mark.
Lots of focus here on YEKINDAR, you know, over a lot of these rounds, just because he's been that point man for the defense around the A ramp, and that's been such a point of focus here for Gambit. Again, we're getting to the 1 minute mark, and Gambit starting to move on that A ramp position, but this time it's more of a, they're offering pressure, and they've constantly attacked this side of the map, but they're actually going towards B at the moment. So we'll see if nafany can create this distraction. It seems like there's already a rotation. There's already the realization that it's going to be an A head. So nafany's on that lurk, but can they deny the entry here? I don't know that they can. It's looking quite strong on B right now. Flit, backside, 6 HP. Can he keep himself alive? Absolutely. YEKINDAR swings in from the side. And now there's very little to work with. But nafany with that lurk through that A site might prove to be the winning play.
Yeah, they haven't seen nafany, so they know that they could be compromised. However, we can see Jame is on the way. He will be deleted, and nafany will have to give up some map control to hold of his teammate. Such a key frag for HObbit, the bomb carrier, with YEKINDAR coming in from the back. If he loses that, they lose the round. And they still have time to lose the round, but Flit with 6 HP has got to be careful. The crab feed from Flit is beautiful.
Oh!
180 from HObbit, even better. 7-6 for Gambit.
Damn, that transfer was beautiful from HObbit. I wasn't expecting him to win that. He's of course fortunate that I believe it was Flit coming in, had such low HP, but at the same time, what a huge swing from HObbit to finish that one off.
Beautiful.
And also kind of crazy, you know, nafany, how he was able to kind of lurk in, because there were like 3 players on the A site, and nafany was just creeping up side alley and manages to find his way through spawn. And that's a huge round to win. It again puts Virtus.pro on pistols. That round may just give Gambit that 9-6, but we'll hold that thought here for the moment, because you know, Buster with that P250 playing around the smoke. You never know. You never know. Is he gonna be able to find anything here? It's not looking likely anymore.
Best gun in the game. P250. It's balanced, it's pure. It's honest. It pays for itself.
If you get a kill with it, at least. But yeah, probably for cost, might be one of the best guns in the game.
It's the best gun in the game, Dan. It's the best.
Alright.
Qikert has a Desert Eagle. Again. Only Deagles remain now for the remainder of Virtus.pro. Up against 5 players. So Gambit look to pull towards 8 rounds at least in their first half. Versus the likes of Virtus.pro. Second half pistol will be interesting. And if they could land that, assuming they take a lead into this, then things could get very interesting indeed. So we'll see what Virtus.pro have to offer for the last round of this half. Let us know at home who you think is going to take this one, who you've put for your pick'ems. Who's your 3-0 and your 0-3? We've got NIP versus Na'Vi coming up later on. I picked NIP. No, did I? No, I put G2 actually for my 3-0.
Yeah, I put CPH Flames originally, but then I swapped to FaZe, and I regret it now. Because CPH Flames are...
They won 1.
They won 1?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were 2-0 for some reason.
Entropic, G2, Na'Vi, and NIP are 2-0.
Entropic would have been a really good 3-0 pick.
Yeah, I fancy G2 in that matchup. But we'll have to see that later on. For now, we've got to focus on this. The last round of the first half is upon us. Jame has the AWP once again. And it's a slow start once more again. You've got to respect those smokes. Or do you? Perhaps you don't.
There's a good initial pick around mid onto HObbit, and James going to make it worse here. Oh, they are stopping the push before it can even make its way up the ramp. Axel going for a desperation push towards that B site. And it is certainly looking difficult right now. They're just going to have to force the issue at this point. Rotation coming through. There's, of course, still everybody left alive on the defense for VP.
Yeah, 2 versus 5. They have the bomb. CT spawn smoke. Try and cut off the rotation coming through, if I'm not mistaken. 30 seconds now, and there's a full rotation coming in towards the B bomb site, so they're not having any of this. Buster just waiting in the smoke, and it's Inters versus 4, not happening on this occasion. So just 1 round between the 2 squads, a thin lead at halftime for Gambit.
Yes, and it's really crazy because it could have been a much better scoreline. You know, if that Qikert moment when the plant had to come in and Qikert with some of those shots, and it ended up being a victory for Gambit. You know, that moment, we mentioned it then. That's like the comeback moment, and it was. Gambit managed to get loads of rounds off of that initial, and ended up winning the half. So VP are probably not going to feel too good about that, but of course...
You don't say a thing. You say nothing.
Of course, it's going to be interesting to see how the dynamic changes as the side switch. Gambit had a really slow approach, but quite consistent and predictable. On that T side, we'll see what VP have to offer here.
No respect shown from nafany immediately. Looking for that flank. 3 players in mid. HObbit looking for a one and done spot. Can fall back if he needs to. Looking for a boost as time continues on. He'll get the sound cues at the very least. They know there are 2+ players in mid. Looking to head towards the A bomb site, but that is a counter smoke from the CT. Very nice indeed. Qikert needs to be dealt with by Exile, but HObbit is dealing with everybody else. Major champion HObbit. How about this? 4 players can buy the cheap helmet right now in the next round. Jame creeping away from mid. May have seen some of HObbit. There's a first kill for him. He still has a minute on the clock here, so he'll take his time. Now, depending on position, I'm having Exile have a look to try and get that armor up. So indeed, okay, Shiro takes 10 damage. So nafany and Inters will get the cheap helmet. So sorry, Inters has no Kevlar, so nafany alone gets the cheap helmet. If it was more players, like, it makes a hell of a difference if they go for those M4s, but it seems he will prioritize utility and take an MP9.
Yeah, this was a good example, kind of like you say, of Gambit slowing down that push and kind of putting it into a place of stuckness. That defensive smoke, like you say, just forced VP. They had no choice but to really push that at that point. So We'll see, what the MP9s will yield in this round against VP. Should be a pretty clean round. There's nothing really invested here, of course, by VP. So, Gambit, they're looking great going into this second half. It's just, it's early, but the pistol victory is obviously a big deal. And VP are just waiting it out.
Yeah, we will have a buy from Virtus.pro next round, as we can see. The AK-47s will be coming out. Just chilling in the meantime. You can see Shiro with the Talon fade. You had a Talon, didn't you?
Don't remember. Don't remember. I do think it's cool that the Gambit are not really throwing their utility, because VP are waiting to kind of just force them to burn it, but they're not doing it.
Yeah, it's very true. Being very patient indeed, and you can see Virtus.pro. Again, they're trying to get the most out of what they have, which is nothing. Lots of people running on the ramp to try and invite those Molotovs and so on, because eventually they will make a push, and when that comes, they want to be fighting against less. YEKINDAR will have to drop the bomb by force, and this is being handily dealt with by Gambit. Not overextending now, if they've only got one player left, and they will peek and delete. Very good round for Gambit. Again, didn't play too close. They put the numbers together, gave themselves plenty of cover, and have no losses in that round.
The instructions are being relayed. But yeah, everything going to plan. Gambit will be able to bring out the AWP straight away if they would like to do that. But they don't need to. It's a very close range map. They're going to hold on to pretty much everything. So super strong bonus here from Gambit. We'll see what they can get out of this, because if they win this round, they're going to be really far ahead. Oh man, they're going to be really far ahead. Unless VP do damage at least. VP are trying to pressure that mid position. They're trying to sneak their way through.
I love this matchup because of the pace,
yeah,
because of the shift walking, because of the lack of information, and how like this is so uncomfortable for CT side, especially the longer it goes on, the info you don't have. Like we could see Gambit have got 4 players towards A at the moment, but they don't really know where Virtus.pro are, and this style of Counter-Strike is so stimulating to watch in terms of how the CT side deal with it, choosing the right pushes, having a great idea as to when it might be the right time to make a play. Very dangerous stuff. And you can see there's a cheeky peek there from nafany. I think he maybe saw 1, maybe 2 players. There are actually 3 on the ramp. So that'll keep them with a focus towards the A bomb site. But they've left mid completely open. And I think the bomb might be rotating away, actually. So they've ended up being outmaneuvered. But Axel has a clue. As we see mid players trying to make a play into the B bomb site. Shiro spots Buster. Chooses not to engage in that mid position, but HObbit will fall.
Yeah, finally a couple of frags coming the way of VP. Axel's in a good spot though. Will he be able to take full advantage? No. Gets taken out. nafany and Shiro remaining. Shiro though, really forward position. Is causing problems. That bomb's ticking away. Buster coming in from the mid. And we'll get the drop down. Shiro, what a shot with the AK. nafany was nowhere near the action. Shiro did it all. What a player. And that's a huge one to win. We mentioned it, that Gambit didn't invest in that round, really. They kept a couple farmers from the previous round and the 3 MP9s, I believe it was. And they're going to leave this round with only 2 surviving, but they both upgraded to AKs. So huge win. Huge win for Gambit.
That was a really interesting round. The constant focus on the A bomb site. Spotting 1, maybe 2 players on the ramp. Those are 2 huge frags from Buster, though. Mid completely abandoned. Able to rotate into the B bomb site despite the lone player there getting the first kill. But still, we see Gambit retake, control, defuse, and move to 11. Wasn't the cheapest round for them, however. And that bomb plot's going to allow Virtus.pro to force up. They are 4 rounds behind at the moment, and they're not looking to extend that deficit.
Yeah, they're going to have to full send it most likely after these smokes dissipate. They themselves have 2 smokes and a Molotov. So they're going to have to use the numbers. They're going to have to use the pace to get onto a site. And that's a good start. Already Shiro's going to go down. The advantage that this had with the CTs is utility. They may not necessarily realize that is their operating advantage. as you will have you would have so much success playing retake with such a massive nade advantage. But VP 5 versus 4, they're slowly gaining control on this A site. They cut the pace.
We can see the bomb is waiting as well. Is he going to be expecting Qikert? Is he going to move forward and give them a free kill? You can see Qikert starting to creep now, but nafany's been playing safe. Molotov is on the way, and he'll stand his ground and deliver that second kill. But where is the bomb headed? Flit again, opening on the B bomb site this time. Axile's still here though, but he has no cover from CT or from the stairs. nafany creeping, but Buster has the off angle, gets his bell rung, but he is alive. That is a huge frag. It makes it a 3 versus 1 instead of a 2 versus 2. HE's to be deployed now. Split will have the initial angle, but nafany playing a nasty angle in the smoke. I don't see how HObbit survives this. Well, hold on a second. Flit has shown his position now. I don't think he's realized that HObbit's seen him. The pre-fight from HObbit. Okay, now it's a 1 versus 1. This shouldn't be possible, but he had the right plays at the right time, HObbit. Found a kid as well. Jame has to be real careful here. Creeping around, HObbit touches the bomb! That was a must-win for Virtus.pro. Down to the wire. Last man, but they do it.
Yeah, that's the key thing. You know, they do go down to the last man, so their economy's been. I mean, despite winning the rounds, it's going to be pretty rough on the whole money situation. Gambit still with bank to use here. I mean, Virtus.pro, I think what we're seeing in a round like that is just their approach. It gives them a lot of options in the mid rounds because they've been. You know, I mentioned previously. You know, on the attacking side, Gambit were doing all of this. You know, they were playing that default, but pretty much always coming back to the A ramp around the 1 minute mark. You know, it's pretty consistent. What VP are doing with some level of consistency is having control of the middle point of the map and then creating pressure that feels like it might be A or B. And then that gives them the options to do what we saw here, where the rotation goes to one site and then they get an opening in mid, and then that gets them positional advantages. So VP, you know, playing really well with their strategic approach right now. I'm not really sure what Gambit are supposed to do against that. But I'm sure we'll find out soon.
Key rounds. Key round for both squads. Shiro with a quick flick, and you've got to be careful because YEKINDAR's creeping, and that is going to be very difficult to deal with, as we saw in the previous round. But nafany could find 2 here. There's the first one. Flick can't trace. Qikert here as well. That's the bomb spotted, but of course, there is plenty of time. They are up against it though, and again, YEKINDAR trying to make a difference, and he will, as he often does, on this A bomb site. Shiro, oh, he's been hurt by the Molotov, and he could be sprayed down for it indeed. I think he needed to stay closer to the smoke there, try and play shotgun mode, and that gives an opening for Virtus.pro now, an early 3 versus 2 on the A bomb site.
Yeah, so they should anticipate that the rotation is sort of where it is right now. They're deciding to commit into the site. They have a slight advantage in numbers, and also now the bomb is starting to be planted. The cover there is there from side alley with YEKINDAR. Oh, the tagging though. Qikert can't move a muscle here. Well, it's not going to matter. Axile's going to take him down anyway.
They've got a smoke. Which side do they put it on? Going to put it on the bomb itself, actually. But that's going to give the T's angles, surely. Someone's got to touch it. Axile doesn't hold it, though. And there's no spray coming out just yet. Buster starting to wonder now, moving towards shore, so no one's here. So this is going to really kill some time for them. Axile with the swing with the FAMAS, 2 versus 1, but someone's got to get on the bomb. They don't have a defuse kit. There's no time to defuse it. They had to stay on the bomb. They had little choice. Someone's got to focus on it. I feel like one of the players who isn't alive needs to see if they've got a kit and say, guys, you've got to get on that bomb, otherwise we lose the round. The kit was all the way down at ramp. You saw it collected towards the end there.
Yeah.
But your people who have been fragged already have got to be on that.
Yeah, I think, I'm not sure, was it Axile who was closest to the bomb? I think he was just trying to support his teammate and just wasn't thinking about the eventuality that his teammate gets both kills. I think he's probably presuming that his teammate's going to get 1 and then get traded, and then he has to trade the trader. But oh no, it was Axile that was doing the fragging.
Yeah,
so
he had to go so deep for that first kill.
Yeah,
I imagine they were hoping someone would be closer to give them more time. But
yeah.
A masterclass from Virtus.pro in that respect made him go deep for that frag, and then it was too late. It was inconsequential. But they have managed to pull something out for this round, Gambit. You can see HObbit with the CZ75, a shortage on some grenades, but they've got some big guns as well. Of course, we can see Shiro with that AWP. HObbit almost going for a 30 bomb. He's got 25 kills so far. It's almost double the nearest person on the T side for Virtus.pro, but of course now the sides have changed. Maybe those stats will as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting this round in particular because it is certainly like a swing sort of territory here. VP could really build the momentum, but this is a twofer for whoever wins it. So hugely important round, and we can see now the slow but sure maneuver towards the B sites here.
I don't see how Gambit win this. They've got one flashbang for a swing, one flash across the whole map.
Oh, but still, Inters finds one kill. They have players around the site, so they can get some engagements here before the bomb goes down, but it's not going their way. And Shiro has an AWP and HObbit with a CZ. I don't know about this one here for HObbit. Able to take down one at the very least, but down to 16 health. Surely he can get traded out. Does a lot of damage to Buster, actually. And maybe Shiro, if he picks off one, there could be an opportunity. Just desperately trying to survive at this point, though, is going to have to fall back.
Yeah, and Ace Small on AWP, he is absolutely going to be hunted by Virtus.pro. You know Jame wants that AWP. They've definitely got a board in their gaming room. And the first line of that whiteboard says, "Get me an AWP." Virtus.pro continue to win these marginal situations, but I mean, that one was very difficult for Gambit. One flashbang across the whole map. Oh. I can't see that one happening, as you can see how hungry Jame is for that AWP. He'll be denied, though. Quick swipe from Shiro.
Yeah, how important it is for him to hold on to this. It's so important. The thing is, for VP too, they don't really want to lose guns, but they understand how important it is for the AWP to stay in the hands of Gambit here. They're so broke, and single AWP can certainly change the tide, or turn the tide. But at the same time, it's really hard on this map because you can get really close with nades. So, you know, where do you put the AWP to have most impact? You can't really play that aggressively on this map, on the CT side. So how do you convert that saved AWP into something in this round? Tell me, James. Tell me now.
If he's got a spawn for ramp, I would imagine he goes for one of the fast peaks there. We saw him do that previously, missed a flick.
That's true.
But you can expect the pace to remain slow from Virtus.pro. So yeah, I think it is indeed very difficult. Obviously, you can have an angle towards the steps on B, but we've seen a lot of presence in mid from Virtus.pro as well. So maybe they'll play against the expectation. Of course, there are some easy fadeaway angles, but Virtus.pro will be expecting this AWP to be holding one of these dirty angles, and of course, when you've got a mind like Jame on your side, they'll know all the tricks and usual places where you would play in a round such as this. He's maybe one of the best snipers in the game when it comes to a hero AWP, and it is going to be the fast ramp play. Actually, not so slow after all.
He wants more, James. He's going back to the well.
Yeah, I mean, he has to get more, really. That one kill isn't enough for him to win the round, but he's got so many angles to post up on. We can see Gambit being proactive elsewhere. That pop flash we heard there by Virtus.pro, and they know that there may be assailants coming for them from the back. They are much better equipped, however, and they've got time on the clock, so they may not be too concerned just yet. We can see HObbit creeping with the P250. Now, he could try and go beyond that smoke, but Flit, I believe, has an angle, unless he's hiding behind the sandbag. There we go.
Unfortunate.
That's expensive information for HObbit.
Yeah, this is really scary for VP, but that certainly makes it a lot nicer. Feel a lot more manageable, less scary. But Shiro is still here. Shiro can connect again. Suddenly it's very desperate for VP, but it's a whiff, it's a flash. And that's Shiro gone, that's the AWP, the best chance gone in the round for Gambit. Inters will try to creep through and play around the smoke here with this P250, but really, there's not a lot to work with. Oh, no! Oh, Jame, how's he connected that one? The trades come through, and it's now just going to be Buster and Qikert here to try to keep this alive for VP. Should be enough. nafany's not really in a position to do too much here.
That's a one-way from Qikert. Surely it's a one-way he just made. He's 66 HP as well. He could get one shot by this USP. Is there an angle for nafany to go through the smoke maybe and find something? Qikert moving in the corner now.
Oh, he knows.
Marvelous. Yeah, that execute from Virtus.pro in that short position to completely Molotov, HE, and blind Shiro was beautiful. And again, I think Virtus.pro are the hardest team to get that hero AWP to work against, because Jame, I think, is one of the absolute best at that exact example.
And now it's 11-11. We're all tied up, and it feels like we're sort of, you know, at a clean slate between these two teams in terms of the back and forth, the momentum. Money not really good for VP. If they lose, they will have to half buy or save, even possibly with a plant. And then similarly for Gambit, they'll also have to save. So again, we're back into this territory again, but HObbit's going aggressive down the ladder. He's behind enemy lines, so he's going to get a freebie against Flit. And now he can cover his retreat. Oh man, this is dangerous. There's no one to punish him out mid as well. Great play there. That could make the difference. There's now nafany's challenge. Doesn't have to... Oh, the flash comes in at the perfect timing. I think it blinds them both, but Shiro converts.
3 more to go. Holding angles towards Qikert. The Molotov may force him away, though. It's surely going to spread. Indeed, it is. The smoke is here, but that'll give Qikert slightly more angles to play with. Gambit have lost a lot of rounds in this half that they will feel marginal, but it's looking good for them at the moment. The exchange continues. The incendiary to delay a bomb plant, but there's still a minute on the clock. Qikert moving forward. HObbit is eliminated, and there's no trade. Qikert dancing around now as the bomb is planted, but nafany will finally finish him off. 4 versus 2, but Jame is in position with the AWP.
It's a 2v4. This is going to be a tough one for Buster and Jame. Jame's going to reposition around the side alley. Well, actually, no, he's still actually up high on top of the ramp. Oh, he's just owning them right now. This is the problem. Inters and Axel don't have utility to... They have to just win the gunfights here. They have to provoke the peak and win the battle. But you can't win the battle against Jame. Just knocking them all down. Inters tries to make a go of it, though. He's going to have to try to just push further forward, but he has no time. He has no time at this point. He gets the last kill, but that's a wrap. Great stuff again from Jame.
Yeah. You've got to have that smoke on Vertigo for the defuse. You have to have that smoke, especially when Jame is in a post-plant situation with an AWP. He's going to cause you all kinds of grief, and that helps Virtus.pro take the lead. To some degree, the numbers almost don't matter if Jame has position and an AWP. You've got to have the utility to take him out of the game. They have to have a smoke if they allow the bomb to get planted and Jame is up. So many problems. Look how abusable those angles are with that AWP. So hard to find a headshot there versus him.
12-11. VP taking the lead. Gambit with just enough to get back onto a reasonable buy here, and HObbit delaying things there around sandbags. That's very annoying. And VP, they look really committed to this. Nice opening though. Flit will remove the sandbags player. HObbit's out of the action. And they don't even have to keep going. They've got so much time on the clock. They can reset off of this if they want to. Or they can continue to scale. Right now they're just holding position, looking for a response, and they're going to punish the responses. nafany's out there in the open! FAMAS looking good in his hands as he backs away. He gets out of there.
They will realize that that wasn't him they just killed as well. nafany still on the site somewhere. So they will be careful switching out for the AWP. They've got the position now. They've hit the scope as well. You can see they're starting to consider their options versus Pro. A lot of utility being thrown this way to try and take these angles away. Clear that AWP up, but he has somewhat repositioned. And with this presence shown from Virtus.pro, they will quietly slink away. Have a look at the B bomb sites on the radar. There's no one there whatsoever. Only 2 plays for Gambit. Axel trying to creep towards the B bomb site now. With the FAMAS. Got to find himself a 1 versus 1 before they all post up. HE grenade for the bomb plant. That's going to be a meaty one. Ooh. He gets 2 of it as well, but can he finish off? Eats a flashbang from his teammate, and down he goes. That's a disastrous timing when they had some chance, Gambit.
Yeah, especially after the HE. You know, that suddenly makes the FAMAS perform, of course, significantly better. That both players are on 50 health, but it's not to be. It was a good effort from nafany, though, really just crushing it with the FAMAS, and of course saving the AWP as a result is going to be some small consolation moving into the following round. But VP, they do look like the better team overall so far. I mean, I say overall, it's a slim margin, but a margin that is clearly felt on the server at the moment.
They're consistently winning those margins on this half.
Yes.
Again, ignoring the round connected to the pistol, if you will. Gambit haven't won a round in this half.
That's a good
It's
point.
been 6 rounds in a row for Virtus.pro.
That is a very good point. Yeah, they've been close. They've been very close in some of these rounds too. But again, the strategic approach from the T side looks a lot better for VP in my mind. Just the way that they're playing it allows for them to have more options, and they're more unpredictable. Gambit's T side was pretty tight in approach, but it was fairly predictable, and I think that was something that was very helpful for VP. And if VP hadn't had that hiccup with Qikert, you know, they actually would have perhaps had a much greater first half, and where they would have won the first half with a lot more rounds. So yeah, overall I agree. VP looking better on Vertigo so far today, but it's CS:GO. It's the best of one. Gambit are not dead just yet. They do have the saved AWP in the hands of Shiro to work from. Oh, we didn't catch the wall bang. That's a bit nasty.
That particular angle on the bomb site versus AKs is a problematic angle for Gambit. But if you don't take that angle, then you can have multiple players swinging on the site, right? But you need the AWP somewhere else, I feel like, to catch players trying to peek that angle if there is a way for them to do that. Because they have lost so many players, I think, in that particular spot. Be a very interesting heat map. And again, it is the hero sniper for Shiro versus the rifles. No AWP for Jame, but if Shiro drops in, that could change. Forward grenades now, but YEKINDAR's in a great position with the MAC-10. And again, another team flash. The synergy doesn't seem to be there for Gambit. Trying to swing with flashbangs, but it's not happening. HObbit gets a maybe random shot through the smoke. Interns pushing forward as well. Damage, but no kill. And now you got to think about holding on to the AWP for the next round.
Yeah, the important thing is they managed to fall back after the plant, so they've done the hardest job now. And YEKINDAR's still there up in their faces with the MAC-10 if necessary, if they start to push this. Yeah, really doing his job at the moment. Keeping the pressure on. Keeping the presence alive. Nice shot from HObbit though. They are doing a lot of damage here. 3 HP for HObbit, 5 HP for Shiro. Shiro's going to surely want to hold on to this. AWP is going to fall back, but...
Perhaps, smart from HObbit.
Perhaps HObbit can, make them go down with the ship. I think Buster's got too much health here to die, indeed. And, I mean, Shiro will keep the AWP again. And they managed to get a bunch of kills out of that one. So that could go a long way. If they pick up this next round, they will actually be able to break the economy, I believe. Or be very close to it.
I think that's a 30 bomb from HObbit now. It is. It is a 30 bomb. He has reached 30 kills. However, again, they are lacking rounds. They are severely lacking rounds in this half. No significant round beyond the pistol has been won by Gambit. And it has to change now if they are to show something in this half. Otherwise, Virtus.pro will find themselves on match point. And Gambit will be 1 for 2. Those are the gaps in the smoke I was talking about in the first half, by the way.
Yeah. So again, we're going back into kind of the 4-by default territory and that mid control. We know how important it is. Look at how fast YEKINDAR is through mid. So much presence, and surely very scary for Gambit. They've got to respect that with the way that they're positioning. And they're going to fall out of mid immediately here. Look at the attention on that mid position right now. So that means that VP have sort of created an opening on the A site. They have a small window of timing to abuse when it's just nafany here. And that window's now gone. The rotation's back on the site.
"35 seconds. Virtus.pro at the bottom of the ramp. 1 smoke remains for Gambit in the hands of Exile, who's on the B bomb site. 25 seconds now, and there may not be a short push from Gambit. This is going to look very problematic. Very important kill there for nafany. Not overextending. You can see 3 people looking at him, which is really going to slow things down even further. The bomb spotted. Have a look at the YEKINDAR's jiggling. They have half a chance now. Shiro is not going to be able to stop the bomb plant itself, and they somehow still get it down. And their numbers are tied. It's a 3 versus 3. Exile still has his hands on that smoke, soon to be deployed, it looks like, but the flashbang will be first. Hopefully not a team flash this time.
Yeah, and Jame just has to hold like he has been. And he's so good, he's so consistent, he's so ready. And there is the smoke. That's going to allow Gambit to get a little bit closer tap the bomb, create some pressure. Flit, in response, goes deep. Sitting on top of the bomb here, trying to delay things even further, making it very chaotic indeed. Inters takes him down, the trays come through, someone needs to get on the bomb. Someone will get on the bomb, but is there enough time here? Looks like there should be. And Gambit keep themselves alive in this one. Solid retake from them. Very scary, but at least this time they had the smoke, and that made the difference.
Yeah, and but still down to the wire. So much spam in the smoke. This one thing I'm not a huge fan of on Vertigo on EA bump side is this kind of smoke spam situation, but they're able to get the defuse there, and hey, it works on both halves, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that just means you have to really stop that bomb from getting planted in the first place. And again, beautiful late round counter strike from Virtus.pro. But finally, Gambit prove victorious. And let's not forget the damage they did in the previous round. We can see that the money is kind of broken for Virtus.pro. They'll have a half investment here, 2 AK-47s and 3 pistols, trying to keep that CT economy honest. As even though after the pistol, that's really the first significant round for Gambit, they're only 2 rounds behind. And maybe they needed their backs to the wall to try and pull a performance out here on Vertigo.
Yeah, nafany's going quite aggressive. I wonder if he wants to just play very reactively off the sound cues, try to just steal away more position. But for now, you know, you've got to be careful. They don't have to do too much. You know, they've forced that eco. You know, we'd mentioned it before. They'd set themselves up for this. They have a huge advantage. You don't have to go aggressive and take huge risks when you already have the advantage. So at this point, it's a question of just where is Virtus.pro going to go? And just reacting to what they're doing. Oops, we get some pressure through to Ray-Rab, but VP, typical of VP, they're pressuring all over the place. You don't know what the true intentions are, but there, YEKINDAR opens up the B side of the map, and Inters and HObbit have to hold this now by themselves.
YEKINDAR is so good. He's so dangerous. Always getting these kills, looking for another one. Be an exchange of damage, and Inters will try and create some space for himself to stay alive. The bomb sprint dropped 20 seconds as YEKINDAR will have to fall back with 4 HP, but he's so dangerous for Virtus.pro with an AK. The entry frags are so consistent from him. He's been a huge problem on the ramp. And he shows that he can be dangerous on the B-bomb side as well, but Gambit will start to catch up now. They'll have 4 players alive, and we spoke about the Virtus.pro money, but it's important they build a little cash here as well in case something goes wrong later on. But they can't really afford for that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something that's so far. I mean, you don't, like, this is such a close game. It really is such a close game. You know, we've been talking about how we feel like VP is playing a better Vertigo. That's true, I would say. But at the same time, they're not playing so much better that there's not an individual that could just stand up in one round for Gambit and then just change the equation with their individual play. I'm going to get a more aggressive approach again. nafany going deep. There's a spam. He finds one through the headshot, through the smoke, and gets a headshot onto Jame. That's a big pick.
Yeah, and Shiro needs to be careful now. They've got a good advantage. Jame taken out is so important. If Virtus.pro plant the bomb, they still need to deal with YEKINDAR, that's for sure, but they don't want to give this opportunity away too easily. nafany and HObbit with a different setup, a crossfire. YEKINDAR's creeping once again, looking for that same headshot. Will land it again. Buster will get the first kill, and down goes Flit. Got to be careful. Qikert's creeping. Perfectly placed HE there. And now the score is tied. Shiro through the wall. Gambit rising just when they need to. 14 apiece. Pressure is high for both squads now.
Yeah, and that's what we're talking about. Just that just crazy spray through the smoke. Lands that headshot. And the thing that sucks about that is that, you know, VP are in a position where they know that they can't allow that advantage to go unchallenged. They have to actually kind of commit off of that. They can't be in a position where they just allow it to be a 4 versus 5. There's a small opening at that point to maybe trade it, and they have to take it. So just with that, Gambit are now starting to look better right at the end, which is, you know, if you're gonna look better, then I mean, this is the time to do it.
That's where you want your peak to be.
Exactly.
The round-winning rounds.
Exactly.
HObbit manages to escape. Inters tries to drop the molly. Has he dropped it in time? No. Flit's got a decision to make. Force forward!
Ooh.
Okay, they won the round. They got wrecked. It was an eco, but that was such a sick frag. I really enjoyed that. But hey, Gambit find their way to match point. I'm sure a lot of people are breathing a sigh of relief now because it was worrying for quite a while. We saw a significant run of rounds from Virtus.pro.
Yeah.
And they need one more to take this one to overtime.
No, it's really crazy because, again, it's felt like VP been winning this game pretty much the whole game until right now. Until round 28 and 29 and possibly round 30. We'll see, you know, what VP have if they can equalize it. They've got a great buy behind them. And we won't see Gambit, you know, running in, taking those early round risks just yet. They've got a sense of mid control, which is important. We know how VP likes to go for that mid control or that mid pressure. So Gambit are forced early on to respect that and place players there. Go for a pretty fast timing here towards this B site though. Oh, huge pick.
Yeah, but YEKINDAR still creeping, and he will trade. He will create some space. He is the can opener, and he'll be successful once again. We see the rotation in. Is it the right one this time? As we have seen Gambit hold the wrong bomb side eventually, but Virtus.pro are still so close now. An exchange of grenades on both sides. They've got to take these angles away from Jame. You can see nafany creeping, trying to play anti-flash. He'll hear the grenades being deployed if they throw some, but we can see Qikert looking over the smoke, as is Jame. Plenty of sound cues as well. YEKINDAR creeping, and does nafany survive this? He doesn't. They're lining up for incense though! No kill for him. Man advantage, Virtus.pro.
They might just be lining up again. The spray comes through. It's only one for HObbit, but slowly but surely it's happening. And Gambit, somehow, someway, have actually won this game of Vertigo. Again, it really felt like VP was the better team all the way until the 28th round, when finally Gambit found themselves. And my goodness, I mean, what a crazy game. That was great.
That was awesome. I knew it was going to be, but man, that